guys, I just thought I'd make a little intro to this video. The one on the water didn't turn out that great, but today we're going to be fishing with a new bait. Can you believe it? It is not Chicken of the Sea. It is Morning Glory by Mirror Lure. Picked it up at Walmart's. It is the 4-inch shad, and we've done quite good with this bait, so this may end up being my next go-to bait, and or we might not even have a go-to bait anymore. This worked, the DOA, this kind of color worked. This is darker than the Chicken of the Sea, the body part. It doesn't have no silver, don't seem to matter. DOA worked good in this similar color. I don't think it's that big a deal, guys. I think mainly you got that chartreuse tail that kind of catches their eye. You get it in front of their face and they nail it. I also do a little talking, probably too much talking, in between fish, but talk about how I spot fish and how I see them through the water. And I'm doing this because one of you guys asked about it, and I just try to show in this video a little bit about how it works. So I hope it helps somebody, and anyway, we're gonna get right on into it. I know this is kind of long before we caught a fish, but maybe it'll help you, maybe it won't, I don't know. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, guys. That means a lot to me. It means somebody's getting something out of here, because you got to counteract them guys that give me thumbs down. I don't get many, but I always get a few. But anyway, I do it for you guys. I'm not getting rich off of this. At least not yet. Maybe I will one day whenever we hit the big time, right? But that's not why I do this. I do this because I try to help people. You know, I know what it's like to get out there and not have a clue of what I'm doing. I've been there, and I wished I would have had somebody to give me a little bit of direction to start with. You know, when I was a young man and out there fishing, I just kind of went and did the best I could, and the results weren't that great most of the time. It was, I really felt great when I come home and say, hey, I caught a redfish today, a redfish. Now if I catch just a redfish, I'm like, wow, that was a pretty tough day, you know. But so you get better as you go. And anyway, 3 minutes in, wow, y'all still watching this? We ain't caught a fish in 3 minutes. All right, let's go catch one. Guys, see if he hangs on there. You know, when you guys ask how I spot them, if I can make a video on that, well, I want to do that, and because I'm always about seeing if I can, you know, help you guys do a little better on your catches. Man, truth is, you know, I've been doing this for a couple of years only, which in my lifetime of fishing, that's a very short part of my fishing. And even the first year or so, I didn't concentrate that much on sight casting because I didn't know too much about it. But the more and more I do it, the better I get at spotting them. It's one of those things that when you first start, you don't know. You're always questioning yourself, is that a redfish? Is that not a redfish? Because they blend in a lot of times. They'll blend in with the bottom, whatever. And well, that's a good little fish. Nice little keeper. That's on that, what was it? Mirror lure, what I just showed y'all. I throwed it at a few. Alright, settle down. Oh, about 22. I think I'll throw him in a box. I know I don't always show what I do with them, but if I turn them loose, you'll normally see it. But I normally try to keep me a couple for the house if I'm out of fish. So, all right, well, but so anyway, yeah, the more you see them, the more you will see them. You'll be able to spot them. You just train your eye to see them. And same way with nervous water. You'll continually, look at that water, and when you see it and you get close to it, if mullets spook off, you kind of, you say, okay, well that's what that looks like. And then when you spook a redfish, and you say, oh yeah, I should have thrown it at that one. And I've done that a couple of times a day myself. So you don't always get it right on nervous water, because nervous water, like that right there, I think was probably a redfish, that just because of the way he took off, and but them big mullet will do that as well sometime. So it's a learning process. So anyway, don't let me take up too much of your time unless we're hooked up. We'll talk about it some more in a minute. All right, guys, I don't know if you guys can see in front of me, there's a fish working its way up the bank, and let's just see if I can get his attention. Oh, that's way too far. It's getting close. Oh, well, that's what happens, guys. Sometimes they spook off, but I think I'm going to title this video "How to Spot Fish." So that's how you spot them. Didn't say how you catch them. that's a different video, guys. You got to watch my other 80 videos. No, but that was pretty easy to spot because he's working along the edge, and almost had his back out of the water. Now this group, I think, is not. I think this is mullet, but don't hurt to throw if you're not sure. Cast through it. But you get up here where you see a lot of stuff in the water, but you're not sure. Go ahead and give it a cast. Now that last one, I knew it was a redfish. If I had a little more time, I wouldn't have thrown it as close, and I probably would have got him to run at it. But the boat was drifting. Even though it looked a little further in the camera, I was within 10 feet of him. I think he already had kind of a sense that something was up, and I was not lined up real good with him. But anyway, yeah, we missed one just a second ago on camera. He was 20 and a half. I turned him back, but it was it was one that took off running, and you just throw at him while he's running away, and he grabbed it. And I'm finding that that's a good way to another way to spot them. Don't be afraid to cast at them while they're running away. I have caught a lot of fish that way lately. I would have told you, don't bother, don't waste your time, but that's not the truth. Truth is, if he's running away, if you can get it right there close to his head as he's moving, he'll suck it in as he's moving and keep on going. He figures, well, I'll get a quick meal while I'm leaving. And so that's what we do there. That was, wind caught me. I wanted to be a little closer to the bank. I see a wake, a fish swimming in the water in front of me. Don't really know if it's a mullet or redfish. So guys, you ask me how I know the difference. Well, I don't. Not all the time. Sometime I do, sometime I don't. But you got to kind of weed through the trash to get the good stuff sometime. But all right, well, let's just move on down the road a little further.
point that out so that you guys could see, but hopefully it showed up on the camera. He was just plowing through the water there, and I didn't want to open my mouth and say anything. If you guys can hear that, there's a regular fishing boat behind me, and I don't know if I can reach the ground. Yeah, let me put a brakes on here. I don't want to spook up this ground in front of me. Most days I have this place to myself, but but today I have company. Oh, a guy that poles his boat around. I think he's a local guide, and I think he most of the time takes one guy out and fly fishing. Now, I'm not close enough to see if he's fly fishing or not, but anyway, this is a good fish here. And back on that same bait too, that Morning Glory, or what do they call it? We'll look at it again. Oh, I probably don't have to. You guys have the luxury of looking back at the film and the beginning of it, but I ain't give my thoughts on it. Let's see here. I'll look at it anyway. All right, Morning Glory, chartreuse tail, and he nailed it. All right. About 23 3/4, and I think we'll let him in the box. It's been a little while today. It's not been that close. Maybe because I'm going behind that guy over there, I didn't know that boats would even get up in this shallow water. But I know he does. I've run across him in other marshes that I fish. And anyway, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to work around this corner here. But yeah, I just seen a V in the water there and jumped to it. But I'm gonna try to get, this water's murky here, like maybe he ran his boat around and got that muddied the water up. So it's hard to see through the water and see a fish. So now I'm mostly watching action on the water. But all right, bring y'all back in a minute. I don't think he's very big. Oh. All right. Well, what do y'all think of that little bit of business? He must have just had it where it didn't hook him the first time at all, so he was just holding on to it. And so when he had a second chance, he said, I'm gonna give it a second try. But I'd say, well, I hadn't seen that much, but I have seen it. And oh, he might be a low end of the slot. Yeah, I decided to come up this little, I don't think there's hardly nothing here, but a little pocket back there. All right, feller, you like that Morning Glory? Okay, making that noise, throwing water everywhere. All right, settle down. You're too little for that. I don't know if he'll make it a keeper or not. Oh yeah, he's like the one I threw back earlier, about 20 1/2, 20 3/4. I don't know if I would take him or not. You know, the other guys up here in not my spot, but in back here, and I'm pretty sure most of the ground that I'm going to cover back, going back the other way, has been fish. So I might just, he's the perfect size to eat. I love the ones that barely legal. And but anyway, yeah, we'll probably throw him in the box, and then everything else has to go back. So anyway, let's go on to the next one. And by the way, I don't know, right at that point, if you back the video back up, you'll see he just kind of was swimming along there, and you really got to study him close to know whether that's a mullet or a big mullet, or if it's a redfish. But anyway, all right guys, let's go see if we can get us another one. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to give you a heads up on that one before I throw it, but he was like 6 feet away. I don't know if y'all can see, but I seen him clearly. Sometimes you don't. But I saw that rascal clearly. Oh yeah. Well, that's a pretty rascal too. He nailed it. Well, that's number 5 on the keepers today on this new bait. It's a little darker than the chicken of the sea, and it's really not that much cheaper, but a little bit cheaper. So if I keep having good luck on it like that, we might just have to start using it. It seems to be real tough. It's scented. I don't know that that makes any difference. Well, this guy's missing an eyeball. That's, if I would have thrown it on the wrong side, he wouldn't have seen it. Probably I ain't got him with one of these hooks. Well, he might barely be a keeper. The last one, I was going to keep him. I guess y'all probably just, I don't know. He might not even make 20. He's not real good, but I might. Nope, I can't take him, but I would have if I could, because a prop hit him. You can see, cut him across the back. He needs to probably be harvested. Hit it, knocked his eye out. But he ain't quite big enough, but maybe he'll get there. He was good enough to nail that bait, so you know, I guess he could go out there and make a living some kind of way. But anyway, again, that's what we're dealing with. They're a little shorter than the chicken of the sea, so I didn't screw it up as far on there. That does look a little awkward to us, but I think to a fish, all he's looking at is something that's wiggling in the water. He don't look at it that close most of the time, I don't think. Some people think it's real important, everything, but I'm learning more that most of the time it's not that. It's just a matter of getting it in front of their face. So, but then again, I throwed that spoon earlier, and I throwed it in front of a couple of them's face, and they swim right by them. But that spoon is a whole different ball game. It has a whole big flash, and then it don't have a flash, and I don't know. But I'm gonna give it another try. I honestly have never in my whole career of fishing done any good on spoons, and other people have done really good. So I don't know what it is. Maybe I don't have no faith in it. I don't know what the deal is. I've tried gold, I tried silver, but most of the time that was my early days when I didn't, wouldn't really find them, and I'm just fishing really scattered fish. So I might give it another try with when we get in the thick ones. They're not real thick today. They're scattered, but I mean they're close enough together to keep you interested. All right, so that was not number 5 on the keepers, because he didn't make it. So we don't have much more before I'll get back in towards where we started. So I don't know if we'll get the end or not, get number 3. But anyway, all right, I'll bring y'all back in a second. All right, guys, I think that'll do it for today. I just want to thank y'all for showing up. I know we didn't catch a ton of fish today, but I've been trying to explain a little bit of how I see them and what I do. And I hope y'all enjoyed it anyway, and maybe next time we'll get on them and have a little more success. But I can't complain. 4 keepers, and I didn't put every little one that I caught in here, but you know, it was a good day. So all right, I guess we will see y'all next time. God bless.